Hello YouTube, it is Chris here, and in today's episode we're going to be going over my Everyday Carry Survival Kit 2.0, so stick with me. Welcome back everybody, and thank you for sticking with me. Like I said, today we're going to be going over my Everyday Carry Survival Kit 2.0 from Vanquest gear. For those of you who follow my channel regularly, you know that we just got done doing a survival overnight adventure with the Vanquest Dendrite fanny pack sling bag. It is really small. We kind of just had a lot of fun and made it work. But in that episode, we were talking about all the things that we would love to do to kind of reinvigorate that kit, kind of do a 2.0 build. And during Blade Show, if you haven't seen either of those episodes, going to be down in the video description, make sure you guys check those out. We caught up with our friends over at the Vanquest booth. Now, we love the Dendrite kit, but like I said, the shelter system that we were able to put in, the amount of gear that you can put inside something the size of my hand is extremely limited, which is kind of where the EDC survival kit comes from. And if you're familiar with my channel, you know that we love building everyday carry kits. We have stuff from Roaring Fire Gear, Maxpedition, Vanquest, but we tend to lean towards Vanquest more often than not, given the fact that their design language and kind of how it fits our needs fits the bill a lot better for us overall. In our overall philosophy when it comes to kits and packs and bags and things we use it in our everyday life. Our Vanquest bags, like all my Vanquest bags, there's my wife's purse. This is my EDC survival bag. I have this right here is going to be my new gym bag. And then we have my son's diaper bag, which has been used for several years. So with that, when we say that we use Vanquest, we literally use it in our day-to-day life. So when I'm building a survival kit in it, it's because I use their stuff every day and I trust it beyond anything. So after catching up with James over at Blade Show at the Vanquest booth, we had a few different options. As you guys saw in the episode, we had the Techco 6-liter fanny pack, which is a much bigger fanny pack with a lot of kit and caboodles and organization. But we decided to opt for our 2.0 build for the Vert 7, given the fact that it's kind of a more backpack sling bag design, and it's almost kind of like just a really small, how dare I say, survival bag, bug out bag kind of thing. It's not quite there. It's designed to be very lightweight, very modular, but it holds a lot more and gives us a lot more versatility in our kit for something we can throw into our trunk, your toolbox. You know, it's a little too big for a glove box for sure, but it's something that you can bring with you and have on the fly at the ready at any moment. So opening up this top compartment, you can see there are a ton of awesome goodies inside. So as you can see, we've dived into the top compartment of this particular kit that offers a lot of storage and organization built in a really small pocket. But what is the Vert 7 and why do we choose it over a lot of other options? Well, one, it's substantially larger than the fanny pack we have, being a 7-liter pack. It's still going to be really thin, lightweight, very mobile. The sling bag offers this really nice strap that can be quickly swapped out from left to right-handed carry. This adjustment strap has this nice D-ring on it, so you can sit there and lengthen or shorten it on the fly really quickly, but it holds very well despite how easy and simple it is to make the adjustments from left to right or lengthen or shorten the strap. Additionally, there is this little pouch in here that we're going to dive inside. That's going to have some little goodies up in there. But this entire setup is designed to be a weatherproof design. From the rubberized coating over the zipper pull area and the actual fabric being used. Now this is not 100% waterproof, but you're going to be able to keep a lot of your stuff dry in the rain. So like I said, I wanted a high quality, very small pack that's very lightweight, very portable, very mobile, but gives me a lot more functionality than the fanny pack we were previously using. So moving through the top compartment, I have a high-vis tinder pull right here from Exotac. There is emergency tinder built inside, but it also allows me to see in low light conditions to be able to pull this a little bit more effectively. Now, in the old kit, we did have a knife, but we didn't have a folding saw. So the Silky Pocket Boy felt like it was the perfect ticket, because this thing, for only being 6 inches long in length, can do a lot. This is an absolute workhorse of a saw. We have owned this for a very long time, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Then moving from there, we have the Workos headlamp. This is a repeat offender from the overnight we did in the Appalachian Mountains. We like this guy because this is really cheap. This is like, I think it's like a $20 to $30 headlamp, but it can use rechargeable batteries or it can just use simple AA's, which I like because I can bring like a 4 or 5 pack of batteries with me for like a 2 or 3 day trip, even a week, and you're kind of good to go. With those Amazon Basic AA's, they don't let me down. This has been a awesome headlamp. It's really, really lightweight. Overall, one of my favorites. Moving on, we have my Kabuya handline. Now, this fishing handline did a superb job when we were catching our brook trout in our survival overnight adventure. But if this is going to be a true survival kit and I got to be out there for longer, we have, this is kind of an emergency fishing reel, which will start reeling in the fish for you under spring tension. But since we are a prepping and survival channel, building in a little bit more redundancy. As you can see, it progressively kind of gets less and less convenient. The handline is not super convenient as it stands, and this is the least so. But this allows me to have something over absolutely nothing. This is all comes from Grim Workshop. We'll put links down in the video description if you want to kind of check them out. But they have some artificial lure cards, tons of hooks and swivels, and then there is a line card that offers 12 yards of cordage for, you know, a little bit of fishing line if you need it desperately. So with my Kabuya hand line, with the emergency fishing reel that will actually reel the fish in for me, plus an emergency hand card, this gives me all the redundancy that I could ever want. Now we're lightly touching on our fire kit, and these are just some supporting players in that. It's not the main nuggets. We have a fire bellows from Near Zero. They are a awesome company that specializes in ultralight tech and gear. If you want to learn more about them and some really cool things they have, we'll have a link down in the description for that. But this is a really exciting piece from Outdoor Element. They have been a super crazy long time supporter of our channel. This is called the PEN-METHEUS, and I'm excited to take this out in the field and really give it a really rundown. But it is a pen that is also a fire scraper, fire starter, fire steel, all rolled into one. As a support mechanism for your overall fire starting needs, you're pretty much good to go. So as you can see, it is a pin with some retro reflector, but even on this top cap right here, there is a small canister. This is more of an everyday carry type thing, but this is an EDC survival kit after all. With that, you can see there's a little piece of tinder baked right into this, protected by an O-ring, and they found a very clever way to put the scraper, which is going to be right here on the handle, so you can still get a whole hand width on the fire steel. Then unscrewing this cap, you actually pull open the fire steel right inside this bad boy. Look at that. That is so freaking sick. And it's kind of like a hexed shape, so it's not going to roll on you super easy, but take some of that coating off. But if you look, super, super, super sick. I'm very excited to try this in the field. However, this bad boy, the PEN-METHEUS, is a Kickstarter item. I do have a prototype. I'm very blessed that they sent this to us. If you want to check this out and back them so you can pick up your own, there will be a link to their Kickstarter on there, just letting you guys know. And then another supporting player is the Outdoor Element fire escape beaner, which is going to give me another cutting implement. I know this is kind of designed for like seatbelts in an emergency, but having an extra blade on you and having an additional way to start a fire is freaking awesome, no matter how you slice that pie. And with the amount of space this doesn't take, I had to include it. So a few tried and true goodies is if I'm actually in a real survival situation, this is the Star Flash signal mirror by Ultimate Survival Technologies. We got this at Walmart like 10 years ago, but if it ain't broke, it don't fix it. This thing works really, really, really well if you need a signal for help. We do have an emergency survival poncho, which is just a glorified Mylar blanket, because if we get cold, we get soaked, we get wet, you know, something adverse happens while we're in with our kit, we have something built in case we have an emergency within our emergency. Then something you're about to see here in a few minutes, we do have a more substantial shelter setup than we had last time. This stuff actually has some patch kits come from Gear Aid, and this is just flat folded T-Rex tape. So inside this top pocket is the main nuggets of our fire starting kit that we've decided to use from Outdoor Element. This is the Fiberlight Fire Kit. If you were watching our 7-day no food survival challenge, where we effectively were trying to figure out if we could actually survive while fasting for 7 days in the woods, we use this kit to a great extent. And in combination with our fire bellows and our PEN-METHEUS, I do believe this is going to be more than adequate in most scenarios for most people when it comes to starting a fire. So baked inside, we do have a Bic lighter. This is a Bictronic lighter. Starts a fire really, really, really well. I've had this lighter for a very, very long time. We have plenty of the firelight that's kind of been squished down a little bit. And then we have their emergency whistle, fire steel, and scraper built and tucked away inside. This little compact kit is far and away more than you need. Now, if you have access to things like fat wood, birch bark, and natural tinders, go ahead and use those to conserve your resources. But having a small kit like this, in addition with some supporting players, do come in handy when you need it the most. Now, moving through the kit to get to the main nugget and compartment, which you can see there's a lot of goodies still left inside us. As you can tell, we have a far substantial filter system than we did last time. So baked inside, we have my Survivor filter kit, which has a lot more baked into it than what meets the eye. So on our survival overnight adventure, we had our Hydro Pack Seeker, which was our 2-liter. This was our water storage for the 24-hour setup. Now, since this is designed to be built out for maybe up to a week, we wanted to have a little bit more storage capability in a very small compact kit. So one, we have this mesh bag that is going to let us hold stuff. We could use this as a tinder bag of sorts. We're going to have a lanyard so we can kind of just put it on our wrist and grab natural tinder if we needed to. Let's say we did find some brook trout that were really small. We could stuff it in here, be good to go. But in here, these are actually sized, sold, and designed by Survival Filter. These are two 32-ounce storage bags that flat pack really far down. So with the 2 liters plus an extra 64 ounces, that's plenty of water in a mobile setup, especially if you got to be nomadic, you're trying to get back to safety, maybe you're signaling for help. But this Survival Filter does the trick. It doesn't matter what water source, basically in North America, you're pretty much good to go. This is cleanable, back flushable, it's amazing. This kit right here, minus the Hydro Pack Seeker, this is like 30 freaking bucks, and it's something that I trust in my life. Now, bear in mind, when we do a lot of our survival kits, you're not gonna see food or actual containers of water baked inside, because we tend to like to try and test out our kits, and we kind of do it in a scenario where you're not gonna have freeze-dried food baked into your really small kit. That's more like a dad bag, like a bigger bag kind of scenario. We like to kind of push ourselves, test ourselves, and have fun out in the woods. So when we go camping and do a survival challenge, we kind of do a no food, no water thing. But in here, this is our shelter system. This comes from War Bonnet Outdoors. This is their hammock and their tarp rolled into one. As you're seeing from the footage, I decided to just take the tarp and roll it inside the hammock to save a ton of space. We generally don't do this. We usually have both of them separated out. But since I needed to fit it in a small 7-liter pack, I kind of needed to make some changes. In the same way that when moms pack for their kids, they'll take the shirt, spread it out, put the, the underwear inside and the socks, and they kind of roll it up in a small ball to save space when they're packing like a suitcase. Same concept in here. It kind of has everything I need for a 3-season setup. And like I said, if something, heaven forbid, happens to this beast, we do have the emergency blanket. We will be miserable, but we'll probably make it throughout the night while we're trying to get back to help. Now, this wouldn't be a kit if we didn't have our knife with us. This is the Arbor by Olive Knives. Like we said in our overnight adventure, when we are going to have a survival kit, we want to have stuff that we trust with our life. And the Arbor, I trust with my life. And it was perfectly adequate, but not really suitable kind of as a chopper. But if you're in a survival situation or survival challenge, you're not going to want to expend that crazy amount of energy. So adding my Silky Saw was the perfect fit in that scenario to kind of complement what I was lacking in the chopping power here. This takes care of that completely. Now, the very last item in this kit is just a small stainless steel flat pack grill. And this is so if we don't want to use a spear to kind of hang our fish and have a more even cooking, especially if we get a bigger, more substantial fish, we can put this over some rocks on our fire and kind of have a little bit, this is kind of one of the bougie comfort items, just like a hammock. You don't have to have a hammock. Something like the survival shelter that we did have and stuff similar works just fine. But if you already own an ultralight hammock or have something like that, or like a 1-person tent that could fit in really, really small, or a bivvy, you're pretty much good to go. But all in all, this is the contents of the kit that fit inside the Vert 7-liter sling bag. We are really excited with how we've gotten this kit built out. Now bear in mind, because this is kind of a survival challenge setup or an EDC kit, we don't have things like a huge trauma kit in here. We don't have shelf-stable food in here. We don't have water. We do have ways to procure water and go procure food, but these are kind of built around the concept to be very light, fast, bare bones kit, and the assumption that you are either training or you already have the knowledge to do those things in your local area or the places you're traveling to. If you're curious, yes, you're going to see this on an adventure coming very, very soon. And if you guys want to learn more about the PEN-METHEUS from Outdoor Element, there is a Kickstarter link. Like I said, make sure you guys go check that out. They're not sponsoring us. We just love Mike. He's an awesome dude. They've been supporters of our channel for a very, very long time. But with that said, I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think of this setup? You saw the bare bones one if you watched our survival overnight adventure, but we just added a few little goodies. We added some redundancy in our fishing. We added a more substantial shelter system, some repair kits for the shelter system in case something goes wrong in the middle of that, a folding saw, a slightly more robust fire starting kit, and just a bigger bag to store stuff if needed. So with these little tiny extras added into the kit, I want to hear your thoughts. And what would you add, take away, or do differently if you're trying to build an EDC survival kit? But with that said, do me a favor and throw this video a big thumbs up and share this out with your friends and family in your social media networks so we can keep growing, thriving, and making awesome videos for you guys. But that just about does it for now. Hope you guys have an absolute wonderful day. I'm out.